What's good, Facebook? What's good, YouTube? What's good, World Wide Web? A shout out to everyone that's watching this. Shout out to everyone that has been with me. The ones that take inspirations from these messages that I'm inspired to do, some of them based on my personal experiences, some of them that are just that comes from a space that I don't know how to explain it, because most of these things that I'm doing or that I have been doing since I started doing it, I really ain't got no clue how I'm doing it. The only answer I can provide is I'm being guided by my loving, gracious Mother and Father, that is the invisible spirit that lives within me. And if I am but a humble tool, a divine sword that is used to help guide another to find that light, that love that is already there residing within them, I'm grateful. And this message, brothers and sisters, just like the others, it just happened. And from what just happened, my mind went to just piecing words together to give light to, or to give voice to, a spirit that I'm hoping through receiving this message, through listening to this broadcast, you will understand the importance of something as simple as grounding, something as simple as connecting your physical body to the body of the earth, to the body of Mother Gaia. Because yesterday something transpired. I find it interesting, me personally, that some of these things I'm already aware of it, but then I allow myself the excuse of, I don't feel like doing it today, or fuck it, I'll do it another day. Sometimes procrastinate, but when it comes down to it, if something is really, really important, yeah, that procrastination, fuck out of here. But yeah, sometimes I allow excuses to momentarily stunt my growth. I mean, to a certain degree, I know I'm doing it. It's like, I know what I'm supposed to do. I mean, just like you out there that are watching this, most of the time you know what you're supposed to do, but then you like, I don't feel like doing it. But I say all that to say this. Yesterday, a situation presented itself where I knew I had to do something. And because I was making the excuse to not do it, the universe or the good Lord decided to step in and say, nah, fuck that. You're going to do this shit. One way or the other. I'm going to keep telling you need to do this shit until you get your ass up and do it. And so here's what transpired. Yesterday, I got up and I decided to go out. And while I was out, my spirit was telling me that you should take your footwear off and connect to the earth. That's grounding. The spiritual kingdom, we know this as grounding. Take your footwear off and walk on the physical body of the earth. Connect to Mother Gaia. Root yourself in the soil from which you come. This is my spirit speaking. Now, while I was out and I got that message, I got that intuition, I got that feeling, that inner nudge, and I'm sitting out there and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I know that I should do this. But here I was, my feet was clean. I had to take my flip-flop off, take my socks off, and I'm thinking to myself, Mother, I don't really want to do it because I don't want to get my feet dirty. That was the excuse that I was allowing myself to avoid doing what I needed to do, which was grounding. The excuse, I don't want to get my feet dirty. Interesting, huh? Ridiculous, I know. So for some of you that take that grounding thing for granted, through this message, you will understand the significance and the importance of why you need to ground yourself. But continuing the story, brothers and sisters, when I sat there making that excuse, the universe kept doing something in the line of the flip-flop that I was wearing. It just kept falling off my feet. And every time it fell off my feet, I would go back, pick it up, and put it back on. Then the thought will come up, you need to ground. And the excuse will come up, I don't want to dirty my feet. Again, the flip-flop will fall off my feet magically. After 3 times, I finally heeded the message and I just said, fuck it, you win. So I proceeded to removing the flip-flop off of both feet and removing my socks and ground myself into the foundation that is the earth. Ground myself into the soil. And also, might I add, I was also reading. I was taking the time out. I really just want to sit and enjoy reading, but once the flip-flop kept falling off my feet, and I made up my mind to, finally heed that inner wisdom, that inner call, and remove the flip-flop and ground myself, I decided I got up and I started to now, as I stated, ground myself. So as I'm reading, I'm walking back and forth wherever it is I was reading. Fortunately, where I was reading, there was a bunch of trees that was around. And every now and then I would pause from my reading and I would look at the trees. And I would look at them rooted in the soil. And I would admire their beauty, their strength, their ability to simply accept the flow of life, to roll with the punches, the harsh wind that go with it, the brute force of the heat of the sun that go with it. Fall comes, they lose all their leaves, they go with it. Winter comes, they deal with the cold, they go with it. and spring comes back up, their leaves start to grow back. They effortlessly go with the flow of everything. And as I was out there grounding, excuse me, as I was out there grounding amongst these trees, a thought came to mind. I would like to simply put it as the tree spoke to me, because me personally, I hold the belief that everything is alive. Everything within creation have a spirit to it. I'm not naive enough to think just because I think is solid, like I'm gonna say a rock for an example, that means that stone, that solid is not alive. It doesn't have a spirit to it. No. Everything within creation, to me personally, has a spirit within it, and if you're open to it, you can communicate with these spirits. But I'm not going to take you that far in, but let's just say, I'm going to say, when I was underneath those trees and grounding myself into the soil, a thought just shot into my mind. And the thought was this, brothers and sisters. I wrote it down in the book that I was reading, because when the time came, I needed to have it as accurately as it crossed my mind. Doing that grounding underneath those trees, walking back and forth, the thought that I got was, from the trees, was this: what makes you think that you are different from the trees, animals, the plants, the sun, the moon, the rivers, etc.? We are all connected. Why then do you choose to stay disconnected from the soil of the earth? I really should make an effort to look more decent when I do these videos, but bro, as I've stated before, I tried these messages. This page is about the message. It ain't about the messenger. And this is how or why I choose to simply look however way I look when I choose to deliver a message, or when I'm inspired to deliver a message. Truth be told, I know how I look when I look how I look. So, listen to the message. What makes you think you are different from the trees, from the plants, from the animals, from the rivers, from the sun, from the moon, that you choose to stay disconnected from the soil of the earth? We are all connected. Why do you choose to stay disconnected? Now, this was the message that shot to my mind. And as I sat there with that thought, pausing for my reading, I'm sitting there like, I already knew this, because I do make it a habit to ground. But apparently on that very day, it was quite significantly important for me to ground. But I was thinking to myself, I'll do it later. Why? Because I don't want to dirty my feet. But luckily, the good Lord has a habit of taking control over my life, because I have given the good Lord that power and authority and that consent, where it's like, bro, you know better than I do. Wherever I'm wrong, take over and right the shit. So the good Lord took over and made me ground myself, and in so doing, the good Lord went ahead and revealed to me that message. Why would I dare to stay disconnected from the soil that gives life to all? There are many excuses that a lot of us come up with. We ain't got the time, one of them. Just like me, some of us, we allow our anchor, our feet, we allow it to be separated from the earth in many different ways. Like, we too busy keeping on our expensive footwear. We put on our fancy shoes, our high heels, our Jordans, our Nikes, our Reeboks, our Adidas. For the women, our stilettos, our high heels, our flip-flops. We wear these things that are designed to separate us from the soil of the earth, thinking nothing of it. And when we're not wearing it, we are inside our homes, separated from the earth. We are walking on our hardwood floors. We are walking on our beautiful carpets. We are walking on concrete. Again, things created to separate us from the soil that is the earth, that very soil that gives rise to every life, every form of existence in this reality. And in so doing, brothers and sisters, here is what I concluded, or I've come to conclude. By staying separated from the earth, we fail to realize why is it within ourselves we feel disconnected, why we feel anxious, why we feel lost, why we feel unsettled. Why? The answer: because you're not connected. You're not rooted in the soil of the earth. And now as you gazed at the trees and that thought came to mind, where you wonder, okay, the trees, the animals, the plants, all of these creations of the earth, within the earth, operating off of pure instincts, knowing what to do and when to do it. And you admiring the fact that they're able to do that effortlessly, they're able to have faith, they're able. That affirmation. That faith of the animals, that faith, that instincts of the animals, the trees, the sun, the moon, them knowing what to do and when to do it. You gazing at this tree and that message is being revealed to you. And again, you're admiring the fact that they are rooted in the soil and they're able to stand strong in the face of trials and tribulation and etc., etc. You too can possess that, but you are not connected to the earth. You're not connected to your faith. You're not connected to your instincts. You're not connected to the very soil that gives life to you. Again, because you're too busy making excuses. Bro, my feet is too clean. I ain't trying to get this bitch dirty. Man, I got these fresh ass shoes on my feet. You think I'm gonna take my shoes off to walk on the ground? What? While we sit and we gaze at animals that easily knows what to do and when to do, and then we wonder how. Because they're connected. In life, Everything has within it a blessing and a lesson. If you but become a humble student, I guarantee you could pick up on these lessons effortlessly. Not just picking up on it, well, if you go further and become the wise student and apply the messages and the lessons that you receive from your environment, then you become just like those very animals, just like the trees, just like the sun, just like the moon, just like the stars. You become just like creation itself, functioning off of pure instincts. Now that said, brothers and sisters, along this path of mine, I came across a young lady. The reason why I bring up this young lady is because even though this took place years ago, what she shared with me stuck with me to the point that this message, in doing it, what she shared with me kind of helps bring awareness to just how naive in a manner of staying connected to the earth some of us truly are. Here's what this lady, I don't know how we got on the topic, but I feel as though to a certain degree it had to do with me suggesting to her to be grounded to the earth. But however way we got to it, I remember this lovely lady sharing with me that she had never once in her life, since the day she was born, touched the ground or the earth or felt grass under her feet. Now, I'm gonna say perhaps maybe she said once and she didn't like it, so for that reason she ain't never done it. But let's just say, from what I gather up, let's just say for a significant time of her life, a great deal of her life, she has not been connected to the earth. Because again, she says she don't like the way it feels under her feet. So most times, or all the days, or most of the days of her life, her foot is covered in shoes, sandals, heels, etc. And when she's not in the shoes, the sandal, or the heels, she's in her house around her fine carpets and fine hardwood floors and granite and all of those things. She don't like the feel of the earth under her feet. And now as I share this to her experience with you, I'm thinking to myself, yes, I do believe I shared with her the whole concept of grounding, because as we spoke, she was the type to say, she was simply revealing to me that she just has a lot going on. She's not able to get a lot of sleep. She's anxious and stuff like that. And this is one of the scenarios where it is not my intention to stop you from living how you choose to live. No. Insight has been revealed to me through whatever means, and it has simply, through applying these insights to my life, I have just arrived at a level of serenity. So now, bearing witness to my brothers and my sisters within the reality that are just unbalanced, unstable, emotionally, physically, psychologically, etc., etc., I go forth, and if the moment or opportunity presents itself, I simply share with them from my experience when I was just like them in that moment in which they are feeling anxious and lost and unconnected. I share with them, well, this is what was taught to me. And so now I'm sharing it with you in the hopes of you could heed it or ignore it. However way you choose, my part was done. My job was done. So, with my divine sister in that moment sharing with me that she ain't never been connected to the earth, or she don't like the whole feel of the earth under her feet, yeah, I shared with her Yeah, it's possibly the reason why you feel the way that you do, because you are not connected to the earth. I suggested to her, well, you should probably start doing that. And even then, she still said, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do that. Then we went on to me suggesting to her, well, if you're not going to do that, how about I just suggest to you the whole frequency idea you could listen to when it comes to your whole sleeping thing. How about you take some initiative, and perhaps I give her some hertz, frequency hertz that she could listen to that would simply help her out. And funny enough, she went home, she followed that advice, she played one of the frequency hertz that I suggested to her. When we met up the next time, she said to me, what did you do to me? Because that frequency hertz that you suggested to me, when I listened to it, I slept so good that I overslept and I was late for whatever the fuck it is I needed to do. What did you do to me? And I bust out laughing. And again, brothers and sisters, the simple goal is to help bring you back into harmony with yourself, which is, again, the inspiration for this message. Grounding the fact that we take simple acts such as that, being to removing our footwear and placing our feet in the soil of the earth to receive the nutrients on an invisible and spiritual level, that which we're unable to see with the naked eye, to receive those nutrients through the sole of our feet within the vessel, to help it become more anchored, to help it become more secure in the foundation that is I am. We take these for granted. Brothers and sisters, I ask you this: what makes you think you are different from the very tree that you see rooted in the soil around you? What makes you think you are different from the plants and animals within this world that are constantly rooted in the soil around them? We're all connected. You're connected to the trees. The trees is connected to you. You're connected to the animals. The animals is connected to you. You're connected to the sun, the moon, the stars. They are all connected to you, because, brothers and sisters, we are all one. But because of these footwears that we placed on our feet, separating us from those divine electrons and protons that are given off by the soil, that through us connecting our feet to these electrons and through us connecting our feet to the soil of the earth, we're able to receive these electrons and neutrons and whatever else that the earth gives to us, bringing balance into our lives. We don't receive these protons, neutrons, and electrons that the earth effortlessly give us to help us become more anchored, becomes more focused, help us become more at ease, free of anxiousness, having more faith in the divine, that through the midst of chaos, everything is in disorder, everything is in order. Can you imagine a tree that every time fall comes around and their leaves starts to fall away, the tree starts to shake and worry? Oh my God, one leaf just fell. Oh shit. Another leaf just fell. Oh shit, I'm losing everything. Can you imagine the trees doing such things? No. The trees effortlessly let go. Perhaps they're even completely oblivious of the fact that spring is going to give it right back to them. Bigger, better. They're oblivious to that. But one thing they do have is that whole anchor in the soil. Through heavy winds, through heavy winds, they are anchored in the soil. Through thunder and storm, they are anchored in the soil. Through Even some of them going as far as being cut down. They are anchored in the soil, letting go and receiving effortlessly. No worries. Shit comes, shit goes. The good Lord provides. Or how does it go? The good Lord gives and the good Lord takes away. Nothing is yours, nothing is mine. As I've stated time and time again, I was birthed in this reality having absolutely nothing but this very vessel. And as I have observed in the reality, when a motherfucker dies and passes away, they don't even take that vessel that they claim is theirs. It doesn't go with them. What comes and what goes? From what I've come to discover, this vessel is but a vehicle. And sometime down the line, I may share with you a story that an automobile shared with me, or one of those communication, as I've just said, like the trees communicated with me. One of these, my communication, the automobile communicated with me how it does not move until the driver makes it move. But let me stay on what I'm doing. Yes, I've come to discover the vessel is but a automobile transporting something very important, transporting me, transporting you. Through the conditionings of the world, you have accepted that the body is you. When the body perish, you perish along with it. Rubbish. The vessel is but a vessel transporting something, spirit, let's call it spirit, let's call it energy, from one place to another. When the vessel passes away, that energy, you, don't cease. It just goes to another. Perhaps another timeline, perhaps another galaxy, perhaps another universe, perhaps into another body. Now that is, I'm taking you a little bit too far down the rabbit hole, but no. I'm speaking with generals out here. I'm speaking with warriors out here, because as I stated, I ain't for the weak minds, I ain't for weak people. So those that I'm speaking to in this moment, you guys are aware of the whole energy reside within the vessel simply transporting you energy. You are always and forever. But now, brothers and sisters, becoming aware of these things, and now understanding that you are no longer just an average human being. Because when you are in that state of forgetfulness, yeah, it's okay to do those stupid things where, bro, I don't want to dirty my feet. I don't want to dirty my shoes. I don't want to take my shoes off and walk on the ground and be connected to the earth. You could do them things because you're in a state of ignorance. You're in a state of forgetfulness. So you don't know. So it's okay for you to do that. But now, once you become self-aware and you understand that this automobile needs to live a certain way. This automobile needs to do a certain thing in order that it may stay aligned with the energy within the vessel. You understand that grounding is vital to my existence, to your existence. Grounding, removing my shoes and not worrying about my feet getting dirty and sticking it in the depths of that soil in order that I may become rooted in the soil, rooted in the faith that is I am, is vital to my existence. Once you become self-aware, such foolishness of ignorantly ignoring these parts of you falls away, because you can no longer play dumb, because now you know. And when you know, you do better. When you know, you do better. And so, as I said yesterday, this whole experience, I'm already aware of grounding. The only reason why I give myself that excuse of oh, I don't want to get my feet dirty today. Well, not long ago I was grounding, maybe like last week, but this whole grounding thing needs to be done daily. And sometimes I give myself even this. I live in the concrete jungle right now. I look forward to the day where I could be not so immersed in the whole concrete jungle that is city life, and go back to maybe the country life where the ground is just effortlessly around me. I could just get up, open my back door, run outside. But yeah, because I'm in the city life, it takes me longer to find my way back to the soil. So I will do it like weekly or bi-weekly. But the idea that I was out there in the soil and the soil was right next to me and I was making the excuse because I don't want to get my feet dirty, I didn't really like that. And I'm glad that everything transpired as it did, because now, brothers and sisters, through my experience, you receive that divine message. What makes you think that you are different from the trees, the animals, the plants, the suns, the moon, the stars, the river? Can you not see that we're all connected? If this is indeed the case, why then do you stay connected from the soil of the earth? There is no excuse. The only excuse that I could say, yeah, when you don't know, you're unaware, you're oblivious to these things. So of course, act however. Ignorance is bliss. But if you are on this page, if you have been with me and you are interested in the things or the intricate way of the inner workings of my mind function, then perhaps you can gain some level of insight from this message that was revealed to me by the trees in the surrounding that I found myself in. Stay rooted in the earth. Stay grounded. Shoes, slippers, flip-flops, heels, the house, carpets, hardwood floor, marble, even concrete. All these things have been created to keep us separated from the soil of the earth. And because they keep us separated from the soil of the earth, we are anxious. We are lost. We are not connected. We are unbalanced. We are unstable. Energetically, we are unstable. We are unbalanced. Because, again, the soil is there. We are supposed to be connected to it. There's a study that was done. If you take the time to do a little bit of research in this moment, just on the whole, what happens when the human body gets in contact with the earth, you will see what I'm expressing to you in this video. Through that connection, energetic exchange is taking place. You are giving something to the earth is giving something to you in that moment. And most time the earth is giving more to you than you're giving to it, because again, by being separated from it, too busy in the human life and doing what human beings do, you are separated and disconnected. So now when you finally make that time and that effort to returning back to the soil and being connected back to it, the earth brings you back home, feeds you that natural energy that you've always been, that makes you stable in your existence, that makes you strong in belief in your existence and all that is happening around you. That study was done. Another study that I was guided to doing research in, it says, like, why is it that dogs makes people happy? Something like that. And it was like this right here. The dogs, when they go outside, they're always connected to the earth. They're outside. And so we as human beings, when we're in the house not connected to the earth, when these animals go outside and play and we let them back in the house, they have connected with the earth and they have that natural energy from the earth. So when they come back in the house and now we pet them, we playing with them, they to a certain degree help balance us, help anchor us. So by playing with the animals, they are giving to us positive energy and taking from us negative energy, which then they go back outside and return to the earth, balance themselves, and then that cycle is continued. You have to find that whole research on your own. That study crossed my path a long time ago, but that's just what I can recollect from that moment. That's what I can remember from that study. These animals, when you pet them, again, naturally connected to the earth, they take from you that are disconnected from the earth some of that disconnectivity and return to you connectivity. I hope that makes sense. But ultimately, you will derive a great deal more result if you actually made the effort to go out there yourself and anchor yourself, your feet, your soul into the soil of the earth. For the sole purpose of bringing you balance that you so desperately need. Balance that you so desperately need, because the reason why the world is so fucked up as it is, you have so many unstable human beings, unbalanced human beings that are lost, that are anxious, that are fearful, that are separated, walking about this earth. And because of that lostness, that separation, that fear, they are just giving it out and attracting it back to themselves. Because again, whatever you put out into the universe, you're going to get right the fuck back. You put out fear, you bring back fear. You put out lost, you getting lost. You put out separation, you getting separation. You put out anxiety, you getting anxiety. Everything you put out as law in the universe, you must receive, because the universe responds to you for yourself. The universe responds to only you. But now others that are aware of this, that the universe responds to you, are able to manipulate you to attract to yourself things that don't serve you. And for a long time, generations upon generations, these enemies of minds, because these are the ones that I'm engaged in this shit with, to right the wrongs that they have created. Some of them a lot of them don't even realize that the fear that they seek to create in another, they themselves are functioning from a fearful state, because a truly divine being that is happy and satisfied with themselves and genuinely fulfilled has no time to waste in trying to control another life, has no time to waste in trying to manipulate the mind of another to function in a way that goes against that other. Truly fulfilled people are too busy being happy and focusing on what next to create. So for these human beings that so-called think that through manipulating the minds of others to move in accordance to their will is where power lies, they are lost themselves, because they know not what real power is. They know not where real power lies. All of these manipulated tactics is a cry for help. And so the good Lord decides, well, I'm going to send a bunch of different souls in there to simply do what they do best, be themselves. And brother and sister, some of you're watching this. And your brother is just sitting here right now guiding you to remembering the importance of grounding. And for those of you that are not on that warrior status where you have outgrown this need to be accepted by society, you are not worried about living up to societal expectation, you are not identified with the body. The body does not rule you. That sense of pleasure does not rule you, or I should say that sense of needing pleasure does not rule you. You're led by your soul. You're led by the energy in the flesh. You are the energy in the flesh. The importance of grounding is vital to your existence. However way that you can. If you could do it daily, awesome. Good for you. If you could do it weekly, cool. Bi-weekly, cool. But I must stress to you the importance of you making the effort to do this as frequently as you can. And me, I'm gonna need to make more of an effort to even go, maybe not just weekly, but try to go at least daily if I can. But as I've said, wherever the good Lord has stationed me, I'm not gonna lie, not really pleased with it, but I also understand you're my vessel. I need you wherever it is I place you. So if I place you in a space that sucks, I need you to simply be still and know that I am God. And know that for whatever the reason this chapter of your life is written in the book that is your life, know that I got you. These are some of the insight that one is able to receive when they are rooted in the soil that is the earth. That sense of knowing that no matter where you find yourself in life, be it the most horrific space, or I'm not going to go as far as saying it's horrific, because it could be worse. Whatever the space may be, I got you. This may just be the season of your leaves being falling away, just like the trees when their leaf falls away. This might just be your season of that. So embrace it and be at peace. Be still, anchored in the soil that is your God, and know that no matter what, I got you. Root yourself in that soil, my nigga, my queen, my God and my goddesses out there. Root yourself in that soil and be who you is. Awesome and at peace, laughing in the face of despair. Unique, the Godfather of consciousness, expressing to you an inspired message through his neglect of grounding himself, hoping that you learn the vital importance of anchoring your divine vessel in the soil of the earth. Wishing you well. Peace and blessings. We out here.